My name's Adil and welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. Today is introducing our BMW M5 new demo vehicle. Let's go. BMW M5, an absolute masterclass of engineering. This vehicle I'm very proud to launch as one of our latest demo vehicles, and what a beast it is. This has had the full Cambridge Cardio treatment, as well as our other partner brand CBS Automotive, with all the styling work that's gone on, the Audison wheels to name a bit, the carbon PPF on the inside, the PPF on the outside, detailing. So many things have been done to this vehicle to get it to where it is, and I'm sure the upgrades will carry on, but it is well worth coming by to listen to. But in today's video is all about sharing the entire journey with you. Later on, you're going to see the install, you're going to see me walking around the vehicle, going through the upgrade that we've done, walking through, explaining it, and then you are also going to see and get to listen to the final result. And there will actually be a whole nother video all about tuning this car, because you guys at home, one of the things that we get a lot in the comments is all about how do we tune a car, and that video is coming very soon, and it will feature all the tuning work that we did on this particular vehicle. So without further ado, guys, let's jump into the rest of the video, and you guys are about to start off with the install on the BMW M5. So you guys have seen all the installation now of the BMW F90 M5 demo car build, but this car is a little bit different to, for example, you've probably seen our other video on the Range Rover build that we've just completed. And that is our other demo vehicle. We've got multiple vehicles in our facility ready for you guys to listen to and experience sound at all different levels. Obviously the Range Rover, if you haven't watched that video, there's a whole series on that car, well worth it. It goes from start to finish, from where we started with the car all the way right to the very end, and is an absolutely mega system in that car. But not everyone has £100,000 to spend on speccing up a car, so we have multiple different cars available for you guys to listen to. And also the reason why I have that is because it gives you the ability to choose what level you need to be at. Most of the time you actually don't know what you need for your car. That's why we have a consultation basis where you can actually come by, listen to a couple of cars, decide on what you want, and then we just advise on what is the best thing for you and your vehicle. And every vehicle is completely different. With every vehicle being a little bit different on every single case, it's about choosing what is right for you in terms of spec, room you're taking up, or lack of room you're taking up on the system. So like on the Range Rover, for example, I wanted access to the full boot space, and we've managed to do that and still install an incredible system. However, on the BMW F90 M5, we haven't got the room underneath the factory floor to be able to install that level of amplification without raising the floor at all. So if I open up the boot here, what we've got on this particular system is what's called level 5. Obviously the levels do move around from time to time, but this is one of the levels from our website. So this car came in with Harman Kardon from factory. Okay, so that is the upgraded system from BMW. That's what they offer, and it's a tick box exercise of where you tick it. It doesn't cost too much, and for the difference that you spend on Harman Kardon, yes, it is better than the stock basic sound system. However, it still doesn't quite cut it for many people. That's why you've seen so many of our videos on upgrading BMWs from Harman Kardon all the way up to this, or taking the base system up to this kind of level. So actually, before we get too carried away here, what did the car come with? So Harman Kardon actually comes with a tweeter on the top of the door cards, a 4-inch in the door, under seat drivers, rears in the rear doors, and then on the rear shelf you've also got a kind of a secondary set of surround rears. No designated sub in the vehicle. That is, in essence, Harman Kardon system summed up. What we've done on this system is change the entire lot, but we've also added the active 10-inch sub. This is a really popular sub that we do in a lot of cars. There's about 3 different ways that we do sub builds on these particular vehicles. So these have what's called a sealed boot. So the bass transfer going from the boot into the actual front cabin of the vehicle is a little bit limited. But what we can actually do on these, so we've not made any holes across the vehicle, but we've got the 10-inch active sub. For a lot of people, that is more than enough. And the reason why we spec'd this particular sub in this vehicle is because give people an idea. So when they listen to this car, if they want more depth than what this is delivering, we go through other options. If this is kind of a baseline for the sub itself and the sub option. So this is kind of our entry level solution for a sub. It's a 10-inch active sub, performs really well though. For myself, I'm not a massive bass head. That is more than enough for me. However, there's some people that get in this vehicle and go, no, I need a little bit more kick. And then we go through some other options. Then you can listen to other cars that have different systems in them to be able to gauge how far you need to go in terms of adding that depth of sound in. These subs actually perform incredibly well for what they are and the money that they are, but the main thing is the limitation of the car. And this is where the balance between your car and how you want it to sound makes a difference. This particular vehicle is a sealed boot, okay? So the bass transfer really does struggle. I, for example, have had that in my G31 5 Series, and that, for example, performed absolutely wickedly because it was an estate vehicle. The bass transfer from boot over to the cabin really kicked really nice and hard. This doesn't kick as hard, and that is, the sub is performing exactly the same, no difference, but it's the fact you've got the kind of limitation of the car itself, and that is one of the reasons why we actually selected the BMW F90, not only because it's one of my favorite cars out there, but it's also the type of car that it is, the size. These are generally the type of cars we're working on. So the 10-inch active sub, so the 3 options, we've got the 10-inch active sub. The other way is to do what's called a traditional style box, which in essence sits in a similar area, but it tucks in, but it gets bolted down. So we bolt down to fixing points from manufacturer, which means it's far more solid. You get a lot more bass transfer, whereas this solution is fully removable. If I need all my boot space back, I can unplug it and remove it really easily. But even with this, I can get my little one buggy in here still. I can load up all the weekend gear that I need to load up into this vehicle, and it still performs really well. And I just work around where that sub is. So I actually haven't ever needed to remove that sub in this particular vehicle. I can load everything that I need to in. So you've got one option of there, one option of the traditional box, which sits right in the corner, and then you've got a custom option where you've got basically the holes on the side. We can in essence build a custom enclosure that sits into them. We've done that on, for example, a BMW 7 Series where we did 2 10-inch subs on either side, and it just leaves all your floor space perfectly clear. On these BMWs, you actually have your battery underneath here, and you also don't have any room underneath here to fit big amplifiers into these particular vehicles. So the only way to do big amplification on these BMWs is raise your floor up, or a couple of other ways that we can do it in terms of the build, but still keeping a boot floor. But for myself on this particular vehicle, I didn't want to lose any space whatsoever other than what we've got in a 10-inch active sub, and the fact that's reversible and removable means it's really easy and a practical solution for this particular vehicle for what it does. The other thing about these BMWs is the fact that the amplification actually has an optical source. So this is an F90 M5 2019 model. And what this is, it has an optical system running through it. And that's how the signal gets through. We have a couple of ways of doing this, but on this particular vehicle, we've taken that optical signal and put that into our Audison Forza amplifier, which is hidden away. You don't see it, but that amplifier has a far cleaner source of signal to then perform and amplify that cleaner source of signal. We obviously still EQ it and get it all done, and you'll probably see that in a tuning video later on. But that is, in essence, the signal side of things sorted with the optical side. But that is the boot. Let's move over to the rears. So on this particular vehicle, like I mentioned earlier on, you've got two sets of rears. You've got ones in the rear doors, and then you've got ones on the rear shelf. These are a tweeter and a 4-inch. That is the same across all of the front and the rear surrounds. And then we've got those 8 inches underneath the seat. These rears, I really like rears in a car, and I've done both in this. And the reason is because a lot of time we've got rear passengers in the vehicle, and also just from a front sound stage, having more speakers in a vehicle, there is a limit. Manufacturers go a bit crazy with it, but this as a dynamic works really, really well. And the difference that we've got playing on the 4s over on the bottom here over to the rear shelf, we do a little bit of tweaking with the tuning. We drop some a little bit lower, some a little bit higher, depending on the car, to get a slightly better sound stage across the entire vehicle. Obviously, the vehicle has fully been soundproofed, as you've seen in the vehicle. Actually, not fully. So the Range Rover obviously had full sound deadening, and that was about 130, 140 odd sheets or whatever it was. This car has had 50 sheets done to it, which is one of the packages on the website. And the reason why we've done that is because there's no false advertising. It's literally, in essence, what you get. So if you selected that package for your vehicle, that is what you get. No difference to the sound that you would experience when you collect your car. On here, you've got the tweeter OEM location, the 4-inch there, and obviously the under seats. These under seats, they're called subs, okay? There's a little bit of a misunderstanding about these. The under seat drivers, they are so shallow. They are literally, they've got to sit underneath your seats. They're very, very shallow. With that in mind, base is all about excursion of a cone, so how much a cone can move backwards and forwards, okay? With it being so shallow, there is a limiting factor to that product that doesn't allow it to move up and down as much as, say, a deep 10-inch or 8-inch sub even. So like, for example, a Hertz Legend sub will kick way beyond what these will do. These I like to use as a little bit of a deeper mid-bass, because you've obviously got a gap between a 4 and an 8 there. And we've done lots of videos on BMWs talking a little bit more detail about the different setups that they do and the differences that you can make when doing a system. But I kind of like to drive them as a low mid-bass driver that you'd normally see traditionally, like in the Range Rover. You've got a 6.5-inch mid-bass in the door. I kind of use them kind of like that, but play a little bit deeper, because they are an 8-inch. They can drop a little bit lower, but they don't drop quite as much as what a sub does. So that's why I've got the 10-inch active sub in this particular vehicle. For myself, not a massive bass fan. You need it in a song and you need it in the tracks, but I don't want to be overwhelmed by it. And that is why that sub for this vehicle suits myself, and it suits what a lot of people want. But if you want more, there's options to go more in terms of that bass, but you still got that deeper mid bass coming from those underseats. But overall, the car is pretty much done. I'm sure there'll be more upgrades to come to it as time goes on, but the car is looking absolutely mega with the Vossen wheels. And bear in mind, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but obviously you're watching this on the Cambridge Car Audio channel. We also have a partner brand that's all the same people, all the same unit. It's called CBS Automotive. What that brand covers is kind of the customization. So the CT carbon kit that's been added to the vehicle, the track pack PPF, the Vossen wheels, Blackview dash cam, the window tints that have been done, the carbon PPF on the interior, the custom steering wheel, the security on the vehicle, loads and loads of other stuff that we've done to the vehicle is all via our CBS Automotive brand. So if you're looking for full vehicle customization, between the Cambridge Car Audio brand and the CBS Automotive brand, it can literally handle pretty much everything that you want. So make sure you guys go check out that site as well. Go check out the website. The website's got loads of different stuff on it. So if you're interested in other upgrades to your car, mostly electrical, but also we do quite a lot of styling stuff as well. go check out the CBS Automotive website. I think you'll find that very, very useful. But overall, that is a little run through of the system in the vehicle, and I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. But it's about to get even better. You guys are about to listen to this car with me. We're going to sit in the car and go through, and you guys will be able to experience it, not fully because it's over whatever medium you're watching this on, but if you wanted to listen to this properly, come by, listen to it, listen to a couple of different cars that we've got. Even if you just love sound, love music, pop by. These cars are available pretty much every time, every day of the week to you guys. So thank you so much for watching so far, guys. Let's jump in the car and enjoy the rest of today's video. Without further ado, guys, let's relax, let's listen back to a couple of songs and just hear the system and enjoy it. The biggest difference is kind of the volume difference from that Harman Kardon system.
I raise my gun to the sky and scream out loud. This is my life, this is my hope.
And the clarity is just incredible.
I may not believe in God, cause the whole damn thing seems pretty odd to me. I don't know what to believe. I don't think that we're supposed to have the answers. I can't imagine thinking everything I know is right. Tell me where's the room to grow.
You can tell by that, it is absolutely exceptional in here. The soundproofing makes such a difference, and you can kind of weirdly, after obviously I've listened to many cars, but like you can hear that it's working really well in certain cars as well. Obviously you get a massive difference of road noise reduction and stuff like that, but it's just so controlled in here. The volume is there, the clarity is there, and don't get me wrong, there's always levels above, there's also levels below. It's actually the whole system has moved from the previous demo vehicle, and same with when we do your car as such. You can literally pick up the system and move it to your next car. So it's really nice that you have that versatility. It's not something you lose. So a lot of the styling stuff you do, or other bits and pieces that you do to a car to modify them or to make them your own, basically, you lose that a lot of the time, especially with cars, and obviously you're just plowing that money into cars. However, with sound, it's so nice that you have the ability with the way we do installs that we can actually remove it all and take it and move it to your next car, which is just a really nice way of doing it. And it's just it means that also you don't mind spending a little bit more because you've got kind of your asset there that you can move. You're not wasting it or losing it, which makes a big difference. So yeah, I mean, over the moon with the finished results, and I'm really looking forward to how this car kind of gets along at car meets it will be going to. So make sure you guys check out this car. We'll be at local events, local cars and coffee events. Obviously we host our own, which is the open day. You can come by every single month, once a month you can come by, and it's a big open day. We have about 100 cars or so every time. So if you ever see this car, it's a Rosso Corsa Ferrari red BMW M5 F90, absolutely stunning. I'm over the moon with the car. I'm really proud to have the business of where we are now, to be able to invest into cars like this, to be able to attend shows, to be able to kind of just showcase the level of work that we do on level of car that we do as well. So without further ado, guys, we are all wrapped up here.